Hello, this is Susie Ashworth here, Mindset and Marketing Mentor, founder of the Baby Business School and the Calm Birth School. And I wanted to hop on today to do this live stream about what your big vision is and the importance of being able to connect with your why. On the back of a couple of questions I had in the Baby Business School group yesterday, and then again in the mastermind. And I think that in the Baby Business School course, I start with getting people to think about their big vision. But I think that there is a real, hey Nicola, you beautiful lady. I think that there is a real fear about owning what it is that you want. And mainly that fear is, what if I'm not capable of achieving it, and what if I fail? And these are the exact words that someone used in the mastermind last night. If I don't write it down, then it's not really real.
Threat has been detected.
That's my spam filter. It's quite aggressive. I'm going to turn it off. How do I turn it off? Oh, I can't turn it off. Hang on. I'm trying to find my email. I can't find it. I might just shut my laptop. It'll go away. Hey, Kerry, morning. I was just trying to shut down my very aggressive spam filter. So I was just saying that it's come up loads over the last couple of days, people talking about their why, being fearful about writing it down, and their big vision, their why and their big vision. And hi, Ain. Don't know why I pronounced your name incorrectly then. Don't know. Sorry. And it's just so important. It is. Nicholas is saying, I wondered what was happening. That is an aggressive spam filter. The spam should be scared. You'd think with a spam filter like that I would get no spam, but unfortunately I get loads. I get like that notification about 50 times every day. It's so fucking important. And the reason, being very clear on your big vision, and when I say big vision, I don't mean, that doesn't have to mean world domination. Okay, your big vision, as I was clarifying with somebody earlier on today, can be about connecting with individuals on a really impactful basis where you are looking to get deep engagement. So perhaps you only work with 12 people a year or 20 people a year, and maybe because you're not financially motivated, you do that for a very low amount of money because it's not about the money, or maybe because you want to, or maybe, you know, the life you want to design revolves around working with people really intimately on a small basis, but you want to charge a premium for that. You want to charge tens of thousands of pounds for that, and that is also okay. Like, you get to choose the life that you want to create. And I think, again, this is kind of edging off the back of the authenticity post yesterday about stopping being the person we think we should be and stepping into who we really are. Now, I was just thinking, do I think it's possible to create a business where you don't have a big vision and you don't have pinpoint clarity on what it is that you're looking to achieve? I 100% do think that you can make a living and have a business where you don't have a big vision and you don't have pinpoint clarity. However, I think that the people who don't have those things, the business that they are running still feels like a job. I don't feel that those people who don't have the pinpoint clarity or the big vision are excited about what they are going to create when they wake up in the morning. I feel that those people are so reactive to what is going on in their surroundings and what is going on in their business and the world, that it still feels like they are not the person who is, you know, who's got their hands on the steering wheel. You know, it's the life is steering them still rather than they are steering life. Does that make sense? Hey Karen, hey Lorna, hey Priscilla. Cool. So, do I think you can do it without a big vision? Yeah. Do I think that that serves you from a place of, most people who go into working for themselves are looking to create some kind of work-life freedom. They want to step off of the daily grind. They want to stop being told what to do. They want to be in control of their life. And I think that if you don't have the big vision and the why, it's very, very difficult to step into that sense of control. The other thing is that unless you get very, very lucky, do you know what? It's not even about luck. The reality is that starting a business is fucking hard. And it's hard because of the learning curve. It's hard because of all of the things you don't know that you don't know. It's hard because when you're in a service-based business like we are, most of the time you're having to present yourself, and you're having to get in touch with yourself and connect with yourself in ways that you haven't had to do in a 9-to-5, and that is really, really, really challenging. And if you do not have a bigger vision than yourself, if you are not really connected with your why, sometimes it is just easier to stay in fucking bed. Do you know what I mean? It's just easier not to do it, because it can just feel so relentless in terms of your own personal development curve. And I think that when you're connected with your why, like why it's important to show up and do what you do, when you're connected with how you deciding to do your live stream is potentially going to impact one of your tribe members, and I move it away from clients, it's just really the network of people that you're creating. I know that there are people that are never going to work with me, never going to invest in working with me, that I am still making a difference with these live streams, with my blogs, with any vlogs, with the way that I communicate, and that is important to me. When I get an email, and I feel very, very fortunate that I send out my newsletters, and often people take the time to say thank you for writing that. Hey Leah, you did that this week, thank you so much. It really, really means so much to me to think that my little witterings and ramblings and my insights, they impact people to make transformations in their own life. That is so fucking important to me. And so coming off a couple of weeks, so I hit a very big goal in my business, and then I think that I just went, ugh, and I've been feeling all of this resistance, and it's meant that I haven't been as visible as what I recommend, what I teach, and I found it very difficult to kind of step into the person who I want to be on a consistent basis. And the other night, like literally just 2 nights ago, I did a whole big thing on my client clarity and who my ideal client is, and I did a whole big thing on my big vision and why it's important to me. I'm just going to read this comment from Nicola. Getting more connected with my why this week, and it's getting me fired up. That is exactly it, Nicola. So the exercise I did is something that I haven't done for a while. I did it with Kat Laterza a couple of nights ago, and it's something that I did when I first started my business and when I first kind of started on this kind of path. And what it is you ask yourself, what is your goal? So your goal might be, I want to make £5,000 a month. And then you ask yourself, why is that important to me? And it might be important to you because you want to pay certain bills. And then you ask yourself, so why is that important to me? Well, I want to pay certain bills because I want to have a sense of freedom and I want to feel in control. And then you say, so why is that important to me? Well, I want to feel free and I want to feel in control because I want to feel that I am able to design my own life. So why is designing your own life important? Because I feel like I have a message, and at the moment that message is being dampened down because I'm not in control. So why is your message important to you? My message is important to me because I know that if I'm able to connect with women who are 25 to 35, who don't quite believe that they are, that they have their own message, so if I can connect with those women and tell them why they're amazing, then that is, that's going to change the world. So why is that? And you just keep going and going and going and going and going. So every time you ask yourself, why is that important to you? Your answer is slightly different from the last answer. And you can do that 20 times, you can do that 30 times. But by the time you get to, okay, I've exhausted this, you should feel so moved by by your underlying why. So one of my old mentors said it's the goal beyond the goal. It's talking about what's underneath it, what's underneath that monetary value, what's underneath wanting to work with 10 women, what's underneath wanting to empower women to feel like they, whether they're having cesarean births or vaginal births, what's underneath wanting them to feel like goddesses. And I think that quite often, at least in the baby business school, we have our monetary goal and then we go maybe 1 or 2 steps beneath that. Hey Claire, but then we don't go deeper. And the reason that we need to go deeper is when you do that kind of 15, 20 times, it's like you feel a duty. You feel a duty to get up and be present. Get up and do the personal work that allows you to show up and shine brightly and attract your ideal client. You feel a duty to not hide behind, I don't feel good today, or I feel tired, because you know that there is somebody out there who is counting on you to be you. Does that make sense? Let me know if I'm making sense to you people. And so this is why, when somebody said, why is wanting to, Nicola's just saying, this is totally resonating with me. When I stay surface, I feel scared and forced, and the resistance is huge. But when I go deeper, I feel compelled to do it. Like you said, it then becomes my duty. Yeah. Thanks, ladies. Am I just waffling on again? And there's the singing. I think maybe it's a nervous thing. I'm not nervous. I just like singing. So that's why I think that the money is important, because I think that is the first thing, but then go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. And that's why paying the bills isn't enough. If it was just as easy as saying, I want to work with 10 women a month because that's going to net me £3,000 or £5,000, we'd all be fucking doing it. We would all be saying fuck off to our fear and just getting on with it, but we don't, because we need something bigger to hold on to and motivate us on a moment by moment basis. So I'm going to leave that with you, ladies. I think that as we evolve, the last thing I'll say is I think that as we evolve, our why is going to continue to change, and it should be something that we're checking in with on a really regular basis, particularly if we're noticing resistance, because it means that we have just lost a little bit of connection with that bigger or deeper vision that we have for what it is that we're doing. Priscilla, my biggest fear is the language. I'm not English, and even if I try to improve my writing, it's difficult. Priscilla, did we meet at somebody's house a few months ago? Were you at Mark Harris's thing? because what I want to say to you is, if that was you, and we sat and chatted, there was nothing to worry about in terms of your okay, yeah. I'm like, I'm shit with names and faces. I was up until now. I've been shit with names and faces, but I'm getting better and better every day. Do you like that affirmation? See what I did like? Just see what I did there. Okay, so you have nothing to worry about in terms of your communication. One of the biggest people I follow online, she comes from I think she comes from the United Arab Emirates. Anyway, English is not her first language. You can really hear her accent, you can really hear her twang. But what she does is she uses video. She writes as well. She's not a prolific blogger, but she uses video. And the reason I love video so much is it's like I can talk to you. So even though there are like 7 people on now, it's like I can talk to one person and I'm going to talk to you as if we were in the same room with each other. And you get that connection when you talk from the heart and you use your eyes, you know. So it's not just like I am talking to my camera screen with no, you know, feeling or animation. It's like I'm talking to a real person. And I think that feeling, it's not even, I don't even think it, I know that feeling trumps everything. So it's like, I don't know how to pronounce her name correctly, but there's a Mexican doula who took part in the Visibility Challenge, and her English is not perfect at all, but when she speaks, she's so fucking mesmerising, because this woman is so in alignment with so much of her life. She like literally, she radiates like a beacon, and when she speaks on video, it's like it doesn't really matter what she's saying, she's just mesmerising. So really just connect with your message, connect with your truth, and then start sharing. And also know, like I said, that I know that a lot of what I say is taken on board and implemented and sparks ideas and thoughts from people who I will never ever have any contact with. So do not worry if you're not getting the hearts, the likes and the people on your page when you're first chatting, giving you that affirmation. You know, I'm asking for it during this. I'm like, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Just trying to get that interaction and know that I'm hitting the right spots. But that's not really the important thing. The important thing is just showing up and talking from your heart, and sharing. And if you do that consistently enough, you will start to, you're sending out that vibe. You're sending out that vibe to attract the tribe that need to hear your message in the way that you articulate it very, very beautifully. Claire, I wrote a blog on surviving Christmas when you were struggling to conceive last night, and I've been astounded by the reaction it got. I've had lots of PMSs from lovely women thanking me for sharing. Love it. Exactly. Exactly. You just, it's just about sharing from the heart, really. And being really clear that you have a mission and a vision rather than a job. Jobs, you don't need to think about this kind of stuff. Jobs is absolutely fine for most people, for many people, to just show up. With this stuff, to make it feel good and exciting, and you know, so you're up and ready and raring to go. Having a big vision is important. Deep vision. Thank you, many thanks. Okay, love you loads, and I will see you in the group.